Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to customize icons in Mobirise. So I have a Mobirise website set up here, and what I want to do is add a new block. And so I'm just going to go and add this sharing block. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is just show you very easily how to turn these square icons into circular icons. Now, the easiest way to do this is to get the code editor add-on. And if you have that, all you have to do is click Edit Code. And then the thing that we're looking for is this block of code here. This is all of our images, all of our icons. You can see here it starts off talking about social icons. Everything is about social icons. This is Twitter. And from this A to this A is this Twitter button here. So we can see that it has a class of mbr-social-icons__icon. And then it has social icon, SOC icon -BG-Twitter that controls the background color to make it so that it's the right color for that social media button. This makes the button editable. There's a title so that when you roll over it, it says Twitter. The target is a new window or a new tab in the browser. It doesn't open it up in the same one. The href is the place where the link goes to. When you click on it, it should go to this twitter.com/Mobirise. And then this I part is actually what Bootstrap uses for the icons, and the one that's included with this Mobirise software is called the glyphicons or glyph icons. And if we could try to find that. So glyphicons.com, and then you can see the different icons that are available to you. There's also what are called halflings, which are smaller versions. There's different social media websites that are available in their logos. And then they also have a lot of different file types that you can use an icon for. So these are included with Mobirise, so you could use these icons inside of Mobirise in the software just by using this unique class right here, and then inserting that where it says social icon Twitter. You could actually change that to the one that you could actually change this to, where was it, to any one of these. So it would be glyphicons questions -sign, and then you would take that and you would insert that. Let's try that very quickly. It might just be questions -sign, but we'll check it out real fast. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let's see here. All right. Oh, question sign. Is that what we had? But it should work, because I know that what happens whenever you change it to social, like Vimeo, and it should give you a new one there. For some reason that's not working. That's weird. Okay. Oh. There we go. So let's say we wanted Vimeo instead of YouTube. You could just choose Vimeo, because you can see here under the social media, like if you wanted, I don't know where Vimeo is. There it is. Then you would just use the class social-Vimeo. And if you wanted to use readability, it'd be social-readability. So if there's a different icon that you want to use, if you want to use the older YouTube with the stacked, you could do that, or you had Gmail or WordPress or something. Then you can add these into Mobirise. So these are the stock ones that it comes with, because these are probably the most popular and normal. But you can also add your own logos in there just by going to the glyphicons.com and then finding the class, and then you insert the class in this last one right here for the eye. You see the eye, and then you put it here for this second one. Then really for the social media, all you have to do is change this last part and then that'll give you a different social media account there. Alright, so that's pretty cool. And let's make these square images into circles. So the way that we do that is, I figured this out before. We need to go to, so this is our full button here, just this one button, and we need to use this class right here, and I'll just copy it, and then I'm going to come down to the CSS editor, and I'm just going to paste it. We need to make sure that this is a class in the CSS, so it needs to have a dot in the front of it, and then we have curly brackets, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add border dash radius 50%. And anytime you add this to like a container element, it's going to make it round. It's going to turn a square element into a round element. So when we click save and close, now we have all round elements here. So that's a really easy way to make your icons circles instead of squares. You could also use the border radius not at 50%, but you could use border radius at like 10 pixels, and then that gives you a nice little rounded edge. You can see that, so it's not totally squared off, it's just rounded. Or if you wanted something a little less, usually like 3 pixels is enough to give it a little bit of a softer edge to it, but still keep the square shape. So you can play around with those settings until it looks like, you know, what you want it to look like. But a super simple way to change the shape of your square icons. That's using mbr-social-icons _ icon. That's the class name up here. Alright, I had a question. What if we want to add our own icons into this set? So these are great, and there's some options and things that you can do with CSS. What if I don't want to use the glyph icons? What if I have some icons that I want to pull in from another library and use them as another source? What we have to do is we have to export this site or publish this website, and then we're going to have to go into the code editor, like a regular a regular code editor, and we're going to have to configure our assets, put them in the right folder in the published website, go to our code editor, and then put the right code in pointing to the right places. Now when you do this, and you come back into Mobirise, you're going to lose all ability to see them. They're just going to look like little broken links for images. So it's going to be really important to put a title for each of these images, and then what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to look at it either previewed in the browser or looking at the file directly through the publish site. I'll show you how to do that. So first thing we need to do is we need to publish this website. So I'm publishing mine on the desktop to a folder called Mobirise Icon Test. I'll just do that right now. Okay, that's our website. And what I need to do is go to this Mobirise Icon Test on my desktop. And we have our files here. We have our project file, we have the index file that we've been working on, and then we also have the assets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop these icons into a folder inside the assets folder. So there's lots of different things going on here. If you also had the question of, well, what if I don't have the code editor at Mobirise and I want to make those simple changes to the icons, like making the circles and things like that? Where is the CSS for that? The CSS for that, I believe, is here. Let me check that out. And remember, our class is mbr-social-icon__icon. Let's see if that's in these additional CSS classes. I do see it here, but I see it here in a different form. So let's check the style instead. Okay, so I found it here. This is mbr-social-icons__icon. So this is going to be where you can change some of those things, and you would add, I believe you would just need to add the border radius into this property here. But this is where it's going to be. Or if you want to create a whole new style sheet so that you don't break the Mobirise style sheets, you could do that and then link it into the website. So again, that's found in Assets, Mobirise, CSS, and then it's Style. So that's where you'll find that that main style sheet for Mobirise. Okay, what we're going to do is create a whole new icons folder, and I'm going to create that right here. Again, once I do this, there's no ability to connect this. At least I'm not privy to the ability to connect these icons to the Mobirise software. So from now on, I'm going to have to be working in the code only, in a code editor. So my suggestion is that you get the pre-made Mobirise blocks in as much as you want, and then when you come back to the editor, then you're going to be able to, well, you'll be able to put these icons in and either do them at the end or do them in a time, you know, when you made a lot of changes and you're ready to kind of publish it, see it, and then when you come back to it for maintenance, you're not going to have the ability to maintain these icons inside of the Mobirise software. Now you'll still be able to do the other blocks, but you won't be able to do the custom blocks that we're making. All right, so we have our icons. Now I need to go get my icons. Enter here my icons folder. Let's use some material design icons. So I have a lot of material design ones. Do something that's not there. So I'm going to choose a few here, but it doesn't really matter what. In a wrench. Okay, so I'm going to copy those. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to paste them back where I made the icons folder, which is right here. I'll just paste those in. So now I have my 3 icons. And they're inside my icons folder under assets. And now I need to open my index page in a code editor. So let's go find our MBR. Okay, so here's our section here. And we have our Twitter. So this is the place where we were. And it's the eye. Okay, so the eye is what we're looking for. And what we want to do is we want to add our own image in here. So we don't need the eye class anymore because we're not using the glyphicons, we're not using something online. What we're doing is we're going to put an actual image in there. So it's really important that these icons here are in a format that's an image format. So either JPEG or PNG is good. These are actually PNG images, all 3 of them. So what we're going to do in the code is we're going to write image. Sorry. There's a shorthand with the code editor, even in Mobirise, that if you write img and then tab, it actually creates the image tag for you. So just sometimes there's little shorthands. If you want a paragraph, you can type P and tab and it'll create a paragraph for you. So if you want to try a little bit of shorthand, I know for this editor it's called Emmet, and I'm not sure if it's been added into Mobirise or if that's just part of the editor that they're using. But there's some little shorthand tricks. So if you ever see me do that, it's built into this editor. I use Atom from GitHub, but they're obviously pulling in a different editor from somewhere else. So, all right, so image source. This is the place that we want the code to look for in order to find our images. So it's under assets / icons / and then we need the file names. So the first one, IC_announcement / black. I'm just going to copy, actually, let me open that. I just want to get this local address here. Let me. The way you can do that is go to the properties. Let's see if it'll open up. There we go. Too many. So when you go to the properties, it'll actually give you the name right here. And so you can just copy and paste that, because that's the only part that we really need right here. If you copy and paste the whole place where it is, so you do like a save link as or something, it's going to give you all the exactly where it is on your computer. So it's on the C drive under this and that and that, and it'll be at the tail end. You would just need to take this last part, the assets icons, and then the name. All right, and then we're going to say we're going to give it an alt, which is going to be the name that shows up whenever we can't see the image. So if the image is broken or it doesn't have access, this is what's going to be shown. Or if someone should have their images turned off while they're browsing, then this is going to show. So always put something here that describes what this is. So we're just going to put announcement icon. This is going to be kind of important for us too in this exercise, because when we go back into Mobirise, into the software, then this is the only thing that's going to be showing, I think, if that shows. In fact, we should put a title so that we know. And the title is what comes up whenever you hover over it. So we'll put the same thing. Alright, so we have that done. And what we're going to do is save. And then we need to open our index page. And then it should have changed. Let's see what happens. We go down. Oh, watch out. I think because our image is so large, it's not fitting in there very well. So let me go and grab a smaller image. I did the 48 pixel one, so maybe I should do a little smaller. Let's do these. We'll do the announcement. Let's do these at like 36. See if that works better. It's kind of a trial and error process. I've done this once, but this is not something that I normally do. So just something I have done. Okay, and then same thing. I can go to properties and I can get the right properties. And then go to the code editor. All I have to do is change this part here. Oh, well, no wonder I need to put .png. Gotta do that too. So let's do the old one, the 48.png, and see if that helps us along. Let's refresh. Okay, so there it showed up. You can see it. It's still too big, but it did show up in our editor. Okay. So let's do that one. We'll save it. Okay, there we go. So using the smaller one actually helped and worked. So now we have our own. It's from the material design, Google's material fonts, and we have that inside of our sharing bar. Now, if you want to get rid of the background or you want to change it, the background is handled through this. So if I just, not what I wanted to do, if I just remove that and then save it and refresh, now it has the rollover background, but it doesn't have the bigger background on it. I think I can safely remove all of these. I already have a title, so that's kind of redundant information. Let's just put the title there. I don't need it twice. I don't need it for the image and for the link. So let's save that. We'll see where that gets us. So now we've lost some of the padding on here, but we have just this link here. And then you can begin to style. You can begin to style that any way that you want to. So that is, you can see how to add your own images in here, and then you would just basically remove the rest of these images. So which we can do here. Now that we have now that we have kind of a template here with this A class, we have basically a template that you can use in order to create more icons. So you would just take this and then you would copy and paste it. And then you can make as many icons as you want, and then you would just need to change this part right here to be whatever the next icon is. And then you would change, you know, where does it go to, the link, and then you would change the title. So very easy how to insert your own links. So if I save that, you'll see that there'll be 2 of these. Okay, so now you have 2 different links, and then you're going to have to go through with the CSS, and you're going to have to try to you know, give these more space, something like that. You could put a border around them. You could put a circular border. You can do a lot of different things now that these images are in here. All right, so that is a little bit more complicated tutorial, but that's how you would go through and add your own images into Mobirise. So it's in this section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Mobirise and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So if we try to import our website, let's see. We need to get rid of this one. Let's get rid of my site, and then we will import a new site. Let's see if those changes reflected. No. Okay, let's try to get rid of it this way. This is one of the more difficult things working on a website and then trying to re-import it. One of the difficult things that I've found with the software itself. I don't think it's a very common move to make, so probably not something that they've focused on. Okay. Maybe refreshing will bring all that back in. Can I clear its memory a little bit? Well, that doesn't work very well, does it? Still something to figure out, not to play with a little bit, but generally that's how you do it. And then from there, you can take these files here, and then you can put these files onto your server or wherever you need them to go. But like I said, because of some of the issues of importing the website, this project back into Mobirise, I would try to get everything set before you publish it to the icon or to your local folder, or before you publish it, you know, wherever you're going to put it. Just because there are some issues, like you just saw, with bringing it back into Mobirise. Because once you start dealing with things in the code editor like this, you start using your own code editor, then Mobirise has some issues with bringing those files and that your extra code in to Mobirise, because it's not really meant to be used like that. Although you can do some different things to do that. So I hope that helps. Maybe it was a little bit convoluted, but I hope in there you find what you need. And if you have any more questions about it, you can leave a comment on the video. Remember to follow this channel too, So I'm trying to put out videos every time someone puts a comment in the comment section of a video. I try to get to them, try to understand what they're trying to do, and then also want to make new videos covering some of the issues maybe that you're having with Mobirise, and to show you how to do those things on your own. All right. If you run into any spots where I can't help, you can always reach out to the Mobirise support team. They're really great, and they're very responsive. And the email is support@mobirise.com. Thanks for watching.